Scorpio, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Scorpio love reading. Now, if this is your first time here and you have questions that you want answered about your romantic love life or your relationship, then start now by subscribing and clicking on that little bell icon so you always get notified anytime I post a new Scorpio tarot reading for you. Looks like we're ready to talk already. Now, I'm going to get on with this Scorpio love reading for the end of April 2023. And we're going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. I'm going to do that by getting one card to represent the mutual point of interest between the two of you here at the end of April 2023. I'm going to get 3 cards for you, Scorpio, 3 cards for your person, and then I'm going to clarify everything with the second deck, just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on in this love connection of yours. So let's get on with it. What is going on between Scorpio and their romantic person of interest at the end of April 2023? What's the mutual point of interest between Scorpio and their romantic person of interest? Okay, thank you. Let's get 3 cards for you, Scorpio. What is going on with Scorpio as it relates to their romantic person of interest and the connection between them at the end of April 2023, please? Okay. Let's get 3 cards for your person. What is going on with Scorpio's romantic person of interest as it relates to Scorpio and the connection between them at the end of April 2023? All right. Pretty easy. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading, 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords is Libra energy. 2s are about decisions or choices. This is a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet. Either because there's not enough information to make a decision, or because someone can't see something, hence the blindfold. Like there's something they can't see and that's preventing the decision from being made. Sometimes this is an energy of someone not wanting to see something, hence leaving the blinders on. Like the lady on the card, she could easily lay down a sword and take the blindfold off and then she could see the decision in front of her. But it oftentimes represents someone who doesn't want to see something, and that's stopping the decision from getting made. Right under that, I have the 4 of Pentacles. This is Capricorn energy. This is an energy of holding on tightly to something and not wanting to let go of it. Sometimes that could be like wanting to hold on to a connection or having a choice about something that I don't want to lose either of the options, hence I'm not choosing. Sometimes this can be like a greedy, stingy kind of an energy. I have the 7 of Pentacles right under that. This is a Taurus energy. This is a period of time where there is like a pause to reflect and take stock of the situation, take stock of the connection between the two of you, taking a look at the seeds that have been planted between the two of you, and trying to decide, is this ever going to grow into the 10 of Pentacles that I really want? Like that maximum stability and abundance that I want, the combining together of lives into one that I really want. Is this ever going to be that? Is this worth continuing to put my time, effort, and energy into that? Or is this a spot where maybe it's not going to pan out the way I wanted to, and maybe I should just cut my losses and move on? So this represents that period of time where things like that are being thought about and contemplated. That's the overall gist of what it looks like this reading is going to talk to me about. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way here at the end of April 2023. It doesn't always affect you both exactly the same way. Sometimes it's a case of they did this and now you're feeling the ramifications of it, or vice versa. Sometimes it's a case of like they're saying or doing something and now you're feeling this way, or vice versa. Sometimes it's legitimately an external thing that's going on that's got you both thinking or feeling or acting this way. But the shared energy affecting you both here at the end of April 2023, Scorpio, is the 8 of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. This is a card of work. It's about putting in the work, putting in the time, effort, and energy on something in order to get what I want, or at the very least having the willingness to put in that work on something. So let's clarify this and find out what else we can uncover here. What's going on with this 8 of Pentacles, please? Why is that the mutual point of interest between Scorpio and their romantic person of interest here at the end of April 2023? Okay. On the bottom of the deck, there's that 10 of Pentacles that I alluded to when I was telling you what the Seven of Pentacles means. The Ten of Pentacles is Virgo energy. This is most people's goal in terms of like the physical reality. It's maximum stability, maximum abundance, maximum prosperity, like having that stable, happy home life where no one wants for anything because all the needs are met, everything's accounted for. This can also represent the combining together of two people or two families and all their assets and resources into one, like combining lives together in the physical world. And under that, I have the Tower. Okay, I got to go back to this here. Hang on one second. I stopped at this Seven of Pentacles in the overall energy. The very next card down is the Five of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. Fives are conflict. So this would be like a conflict in thinking or a conflict in communicating. So this could be an argument, a big fight, bitter words being spoken, words being used like weapons. It can represent a betrayal of some kind. At its core, this card is about a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. So there's some sort of contemplating about this situation here that has in the background of it some possible betrayal or some psychologically painful thing happening. An energy of not wanting to let go of something, but also an energy of a choice about something that's not being made. Right under this Ten of Pentacles is the Tower. This is the collapse of something. This is a game changer. This is like a foundation rocking event. It's like the collapse of some important structure in your lives. A lot of times this will represent the collapse of a relationship, or in this case, like the collapse of this stable home life here, a collapse of being combined together. Sometimes it can represent the collapse of a belief system. In other words, like a mental model of the world you were operating from, where like I had this belief about this connection, a belief that either we were going to be living together, we were headed in that direction, or had a belief about us being combined together, and something related to that has collapsed. This is not good feeling here. Definitely not. Ten of Swords right behind that. This is a swift, painful ending to something. Sometimes this is an ending that you didn't see coming, hence the swords being in the person's back. If he would have seen that coming, they would be in his front, not behind him. Sometimes this is an ending in betrayal, hence the swords in the back, getting stabbed in the back. No matter how you slice this energy, it is an ending to something. So I've got two references already to a betrayal taking place, or the collapse of being combined together, a very swift ending. I have another completion card right behind that, the Ten of Wands. This is Sagittarius energy. I don't know if I told you, but this Ten of Swords is Gemini energy. Ten of Wands is Sagittarius energy of a heavy burden being carried here. This is a 10 though, so it's supposed to be a completion. It's supposed to be the completion of the burden being carried. In other words, getting to the spot where a burden can be laid down and you can move forward without it. It's not happening though. I have the Five of Wands right behind that. This is Leo energy. Again, it's a 5. Fives are conflict. I've seen 2 5s, 3 10s. Out of these first 4 cards, 3 of them are 10s, completion cards, and a Tower in the mix of that. This is a conflict. Wands are about desires. So this would be an internal conflict in someone's desires. In other words, like a piece of you wants one thing, but then another piece of you wants pretty much the opposite of that. And you're having this internal battle of tug of war inside what it is that you actually want, where there's multiple pieces of yourself pulling in different directions. Now, because this is in the shared energy affecting you both, this could be an internal conflict in the connection itself, where a piece of them wants one thing and a piece of you wants something different, and you guys are like pulling against each other instead of pulling in the same direction. There's too much conflict here. Yeah, there's Two of Pentacles behind that. This is Capricorn energy. 2s are decisions. We've already got a 2 out here. It's the overall energy of the reading. A decision that needs made and it's not being made. This is a physical, real world decision where I've got these 2 options here and I can't have both of them at the same time. Like you can't turn left and right at the same time. You actually have to choose one. And this is someone who's unable to choose and they're going back and forth about it. Like, do I or don't I? Should I or shouldn't I? Like, pros and cons are being weighed here. It's a 1 foot in and 1 foot out kind of an energy. It's an energy of balance, but it's more about trying to maintain your balance or get your balance back once it's been thrown off here. The negative meaning of this card, besides that, can be an element of one person juggling two people. Got the Three of Swords right behind that, which is Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. Now, I do want to say that third energy does not always have to be another person, although it definitely can be. When it is another person, it doesn't always have to be romantic third party, although it definitely can be. If it is a person, it could be nosy friends or family members or neighbors or coworkers or anybody that's not you, that's not your person, sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. This can be any number of things. It could be work getting in the way. It could be career getting in the way. Like anything we do enough of is eventually going to pick up its own energy. So like watching too much television can be a third energy. Eating too many Doritos can be a third energy. Like too many video games, going out too much, like anything like that can cause this heartbreaking situation here. But it does not feel like anything like that. I have the Ace of Cups behind it. This is a new beginning in love and emotions. Okay. That's what brought the Tower down. That's what ended things. There was a betrayal here. There was someone juggling two people. They can't make up their mind who they want. Decision that they needed to make about which person and decided not to decide, which is still a choice, by the way. Now there's this energy of work affecting both of you, like putting in the work on it or having the willingness to put the work in on it. When I clarify that, I get the Four of Pentacles again, the Nine of Swords, and the Fool. Four of Pentacles, we've already seen that. It's right here, the second card down in the overall energy. This is Capricorn energy of holding on tightly to something and not wanting to let go of it. I see this dynamic happen a lot in my readings where there's a connection between people, a relationship. One person does some really stupid shit and breaks the relationship, tears it apart, and the other person wants to hold on to it and put the work in to fix it. That's what this looks like. But right below the card of work is the Nine of Swords, Gemini energy of fear, worry, anxiety, thinking about something over and over again with so much fear and worry behind the thinking that it starts to physically stress a person out. It starts to physically manifest. This is mental anguish. This is like sleepless nights, like having nightmares. I can't stay asleep. I can't concentrate on what I'm doing because I'm so preoccupied with this negative thing that's happening, and I have all this fear and worry tied to that. Possibly fear and worry tied to the idea of being able to hold on to them, fear and worry tied to the idea of working on it, fear and worry tied to the idea of a decision needs made here, but it's not happening. And then I've got the Fool here as the final clarifier. This is the very first card of the major arcana. It's the first card of the whole tarot deck. It represents a new beginning in something. It also represents someone taking the blind leap of faith on something. In other words, not needing to know what all the steps are from beginning to end before they take the first step. Not needing to know what the end result or outcome is going to be before they take the first step. It's just saying, you know what, screw it, I'm going for it. I'm going to jump off the cliff here, and I'll worry about growing wings on my way down. It's like, I'll do this, and I'll figure it out as I move along. Now, the negative side of this card can represent someone who is acting foolish, displaying foolish behavior, taking unnecessary risks, or taking risks outside of the connection. And there's some worry tied to that too. That's the shared energy affecting you both. It's not uncommon at this point that I don't fully understand what this is telling me, although it feels like I have a pretty good idea right now. I will still come back to that as I go through your energy, Scorpio, because then I'll be able to see how that applies to you. I'll come back to it again as I go through your person's energy, because then I can see how it applies to them. But that's the shared energy affecting you both at the end of April 2023. Scorpio, your energy in this connection is the Four of Swords, the Six of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. Four of Swords is Libra energy. This is about taking a pause, taking a rest, taking a break. It's about choosing to go inside yourself and do some healing. It's a four, so fours are about stability. swords are about thoughts. So this is like trying to stabilize your thoughts, trying to stabilize your mind. If you're in this Nine of Swords energy where you're full of fear, worry, anxiety, stress, definitely a good idea to try to stabilize your mind. This is like choosing to go inside yourself to calm your mind down so you can figure out what to do moving forward from here. Tell me about this Four of Swords, please. Why is that here for the first card in Scorpio's energy at the end of April 2023? Got some flip over in the deck here. On the bottom of the deck, the Wheel of Fortune. In terms of zodiac signs, this represents the four fixed signs of the zodiac: Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. This is card 10 of the major arcana. I've seen a bunch of 10s already. 10s are completion cards. This is the 10 of the major arcana, so it rules over the 10s of the four suits. We've seen what the 10 of Pentacles, we've seen the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Wands. The one I'm missing so far is the 10 of Cups, but I've got, this would represent like the Wheel of Fate, the Wheel of Destiny, so a fated event, something that's supposed to happen. It could represent a change in the luck and fortune of this connection, change in your luck and fortune. This would represent the wheel spinning the other way and things going to hell in a handbasket pretty quickly. It can also represent a repeating cycle that happens. I've got the Page of Swords right behind that. This is news and messages and communications about something. It's also an energy of a person who's trying to learn something or trying to figure something out. I've got you here in this Four of Swords energy where you're trying to calm your mind down and figure out what to do moving forward. This could represent that, figure out what to do about this whole everything changing on us now. Sometimes this can represent an energy of someone who's spying or keeping tabs on another person, like scoping out their Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, social media pages, trying to see what's going on with them, or asking people about them, or driving past their house and snooping around. It can be anything like that. It can even represent some external person has seen something and reported back to you what they saw, and it's changed everything. Four of Swords. It could also just be you trying to figure out what to do about everything changing and figure out what to do moving forward. And your mind is wound up to the point that either you're being instructed to calm your thoughts down and center yourself and, like meditate or like calm yourself down so you can figure out what to do moving forward. But that's an energy of trying to do that. And trying to figure out what to do moving forward into the world, which is the final card of the major arcana. We've already got the first card out here. So this represents a complete cycle between two people, like the full shebang from beginning all the way to end. This card is the ending of a cycle and at the same time the beginning of the next cycle, which starts back over at the Fool. Now when I clarify this Four of Swords, I get Chariot, Death, and the Lovers in reverse. I don't read reversals, so whenever they come out upside down, I just automatically flip them right side up. I don't even pay attention to it. I just do it I just do it. This one is screaming at me. It's not letting me flip it upside down, or right side up in this case, so I'm going to read it to you upside down. The Chariot is the Cancer major arcana card. Like, I've got all three of these clarifiers are major arcanas. That's really powerful energy, which is a good reason why you would be in your head and thinking about something probably too much to the point you're stressing yourself out. Major arcana here on the bottom of the deck. A lot of powerful energy affecting you here. This is, at its core, it's about using the will to move forward past problems and challenges and obstacles that are in your way. It's like getting past all of that stuff through just sheer will alone and being able to move forward very fast in success and victory. This is the fastest moving energy in the whole tarot deck. Usually. I say that because it's entirely dependent on the driver. There are no reins that connect the driver to the chariot or to the beasts that pull it. So he uses sheer will alone to power this, to control it, to steer it. And if the driver is not in full alignment, if all pieces of himself are not pulling in the same direction, This thing is every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man. It doesn't move. Or worse yet, it does move, but because pieces of him are pulling in different directions and he's not in full alignment, one piece will pull this way, one piece will pull that way, and it'll like rip itself in two as it moves forward. I've already seen a dynamic when I clarified the shared energy that suggests that you guys are pulling in different directions, and that could be what this is talking about. Like, you're trying to figure out how to overcome the obstacles, but at the same time there's this another hint that there's not alignment between the two of you right here. Next I have Death, which is the Scorpio Major Arcana card. This is an ending to something. This is something dying so that it can be reborn in a different way. Sometimes this is like a very painful transformation process a person is going through, like a painful transition period. If you think about the caterpillar, it goes into a cocoon, and when it comes out the other side of that cocoon, it's not a caterpillar anymore. It's a beautiful butterfly instead. But so yeah, it comes out better than it was before it went in, but the transition period in that cocoon, it's not fun for the caterpillar. It ain't party in there. It's not fun and games in there. The caterpillar is dying. It's transforming. It's going through a painful metamorphosis. And the caterpillar aspect of itself does die in that cocoon. And when it comes out, it ain't a caterpillar anymore. So this represents that kind of a painful transition period for you, probably related to the death of the connection. And I see clearly already there's still this element of wanting to put the work in on it, like having the willingness to do that here, because there is an element of you not wanting to let go of this person, but there's also an element of you being scared to death about this new beginning, whether that's for you having to start a new beginning or being fearful and worried that they've started a new beginning, or maybe this isn't the first time they've done this kind of stuff and you're worried about, if we do put the work in and figure out how to get past these challenges, it's still going to be dead anyway because they're just going to repeat the same cycle they've already done. I've got the Lovers in reverse. In the upright, this is Gemini energy. This is a powerful love connection between two people. This is like saying that at the very least, you believed this person was probably the one you were supposed to be with. This is not the universe or spirit coming down and saying, no, these two people are supposed to be together. I realize a lot of readers will tell you that's what this card means, or they will tell you that this means twin flames or soulmates or some stupid bullshit like that. That is not what this card is about. It's about the interconnectedness between people, the connections between people, and the fact that when you're in a relationship with someone, they can't make decisions and take actions on things without it also affecting you. And likewise, you can't make decisions and take actions on things without it affecting them. Our decisions, our actions have consequences for everyone that we touch in our lives, including humanity as a whole. This card is about the interconnectedness between humans. Like, we can't make it through this world alone. Like, I'm doing YouTube tarot readings. Someone had to invent tarot. Someone had to invent and build tables. Someone had to invent cameras and the internet and YouTube. So there's like, it's about the interconnectedness between people much more than it is about soulmates and stuff like that. It's definitely not about twin flames, because that stuff didn't even get invented until the 1970s, and the Rider-Waite tarot deck was published for the first time in 1909. So there's no way a card that was created in 1909 means something that didn't get invented until the 70s. But I'm getting off the soapbox on that. I just feel like I need to cover that and hammer the shit out of that, because there are so many fake ass tarot readers on YouTube right now that are being greedy and talking about twin flame shit simply because it makes a lot of money. And I'm not in this to make the money. I'm in this to tell people the truth and give them the ability to make the correct decisions for themselves by giving them the truth. So I gotta tell you that twin flame stuff is bullshit. This card being in reverse is saying that there's something wrong with the connection. It could even be saying, because I saw the Tower, which can be a shattering of a belief system that you have. This could be saying that at one point in time you believed this was the person for you. This was the one that you were supposed to be with in terms of how you believe. But now that belief has been turned upside down. That belief has been shattered. It's also saying that there is something drastically wrong with the connection here. And the connection at this point looks like it's dead, or at the minimum, you're worried to death that it is dead and trying to figure out, is there a way to get past this or not? Central to your energy, Scorpio, is a Scorpio card, the Six of Cups. This is the card of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days and the way things used to be between the two of you. It can represent a person from the past. That whole concept of the past, though, is very relative, because technically 2 seconds ago is in the past. So it's really hard to pin down on its own exactly what this means. And this could just mean that there is a history to this connection. There is a deep emotional connection between the two of you. And you're doing a lot of thinking about that and reminiscing about that. Tell me about the Six of Cups. Why is that central to Scorpio's energy, please? Let's get 2 more on that Six of Cups for Scorpio, please. Okay. We're taking more than 2. Got a lot of cards there about this. Normally I get 3, I just got 5. On the bottom of the deck, 10 of Wands again. Sagittarius energy of a heavy burden that you're carrying here in terms of the past, in terms of thinking about the past, reminiscing about the way it used to be between the two of you. You are burdened by the past and the history of this connection and the fact that it is over now. This is a swift, painful ending that you probably didn't see coming. It's an ending in betrayal. Yeah, it definitely is. Knight of Cups is behind that. Knights are action takers, and Cups are about love and emotions. So this is actions toward love and emotions. This is moving forward with romantic offers, romantic gestures, trying to move forward in some love offer or some love connection, trying to advance that in some way. Page of Pentacles. This is news and messages and communications about some physical opportunity presenting itself. It's like communicating about some physical opportunity. A lot of times this will represent planning for the future. Okay, this is what's going on here. This is why you're reminiscing about the past a lot. You're burdened because something has ended. Oh shit. Oh God. This person, you were trying to advance this connection with this person. You had a plan for the future with them. That plan included 10 of Pentacles, combining lives together. So this would be like living together or being married, like physically combining your lives together. But then behind it is the Tower. I feel strongly like the Tower is related to this moving forward that they were doing, the foolish behavior they were displaying, the choice they have that they're not making. Right behind the Tower is the Five of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. Again, with the 5, it's a conflict. This is a loss. This is abandonment. This is being cast aside. This is being left out in the cold. This is a breakup card. I don't know what it is. This eclipse is like very intense energy, and it's intensifying things for me, and this one is getting to me already. When I clarify this 6 of Cups, I get the 7 of Cups, the 4 of Wands, the King of Wands, the Empress, and the King of Cups. 7 of Cups is more Scorpio energy. So I'm clarifying the 6 of Cups, and now we're progressing forward a step into the 7. Both Scorpio energies. This is options and choices, but it's confusion about the options and choices. There are a lot of cups here. There's a lot of different ways this situation could play itself out. There's a lot of different things you could choose to do here, and there's a lot of emotions involved. And this represents not wanting to make a mistake and pick the wrong cup. It can also represent if this is some of your person's energy showing up on your side of the table because what they did is affecting you so strongly. It could just be indicating that they had options and choices. Now, the clouds of smoke around all the cups can indicate like emotional confusion, obscured vision, like your judgment is being clouded here based on your emotions. Definitely, if you're in this Nine of Swords energy, that can make it difficult to see what to do. If you notice on the card, the person has their face covered. They're covering their eyes because they don't want to see something. And again, this Two of Swords also applies to you in some way. And it could be that there's something about this that you don't want to see. And I can understand not wanting to see that something is over, especially if there is a history between the two of you. And still, like, I don't want to give up on anything. So I can definitely relate to, like, I'm going to find a way to overcome this. You know, I can relate to that. But this is talking about also not wanting to make a mistake. Totally understand heavy burden you're carrying here. The next card is the Four of Wands. This is Aries energy. This is stability of the home, stability of the family, stability of the connection between the two of you. Those four wands represent 1111, which is the number of manifesting. This is usually a celebration of the home and the family. I've seen that 10 of Pentacles a couple of times. The Lovers out here. This is a card that would indicate living together or having a housewarming party or an engagement or a wedding or something like that. The stability is clearly thrown off here. Like, the card sitting right beside it is death. So there's been an end to the stability. There's emotional confusion here. Next, I have the King of Wands, which is Leo or Sagittarius energy. This is a very bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what he wants, and he goes after it. This is not the person who takes no for an answer. This is not the person who runs into some difficult thing or some obstacle in his way and he just gives up. This is not that dude. This is the dude that's going to find a way to get what he wants, or he's going to make a way to get what he wants. Very driven and motivated. It's also the King of Wands, and the wand is the phallic symbol of the tarot deck. Shit, I'm getting ahead of myself, but the wand is the very first card in your person's energy. This would be the pinnacle of that wand suit. That wand is the phallic symbol. It's the male phallus, using it to be intimate, sexual energy, sex. So this is not just a driven, motivated person. It's someone who's also driven and motivated by passion and desire and sexual energy. And that is directly next to the Lovers being upside down. I feel like that card has a dual meaning. There's that element of you that doesn't want to give up on this. You want to hold on to this and not let go of it. There's something you don't want to see, a choice you don't want to make, and you want to hold on to them. But then there's also been this period of time after a betrayal, or a period of time where there has been a betrayal, possibly more than one time, because I saw that Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like that's part of where your internal conflict is coming from. Like, a piece of you wants to hold on to this, and another piece of you is like, wait a damn minute here. Next, I have the Empress. This is the mother of the tarot deck. She's perpetually pregnant, so she's always giving birth to something. So in a love reading for me, she represents the birth of something new, as probably a birth of a new connection. Now, it can also represent the rebirth of something, which would be what's going on if you're trying hard to hold on to this and not let go of it, and, you know, come back from this kind of a burden, come back from this ending, come back from the Tower and the abandonment, come back from death, trying to overcome this. All this would be trying to rebirth it. But I feel strongly like someone's passion and desire caused them to birth something new here. Probably gave them a choice between more than one lover, and things went upside down. The final card here is the King of Cups. This is either Scorpio or Pisces energy. This is a decision-making energy, but it's someone who is very in touch with their emotions, very in touch with their intuition, really intuitive person here. Scorpio is probably the most intuitive sign. There's a debate about, is it Cancer or is it Scorpio? And flip a coin, because you're both super highly intuitive. But this would represent your energy. It could also represent how you are viewing your person here, as in it's someone that you have a lot of love and emotions for. They're probably like your counterpart in terms of how you're thinking about it. But if this is describing your person, this would be the person who is like, they don't wear their heart on their sleeve. The King of Cups does not publicly broadcast how he feels about something. So this could be the kind of person that loves you dearly, but doesn't really tell you and doesn't really show you. It could also be a person who's in emotional turmoil and the waters around them are all rough and choppy, and you would never know by talking to them because they're not going to express that kind of stuff. Final card in your energy is the Nine of Wands. This is Sagittarius energy. I feel like I've said Sagittarius a lot. I feel like I've said Leo a few times. I've definitely said Libra a few times. I've said Gemini a few times. I got some more Leo, Sag out here. I've said Scorpio a few times, but you're a Scorpio. You could be dealing with any of those signs, but you could literally be dealing with any sign. This is a collective reading. I'm not tapping into your specific energy as an individual person the same way I would if I were doing a personal reading for you. I'm tapping into the collective energy of thousands of Scorpio people all at once. So it's going to be almost impossible for me to pin down like exactly what sign you're dealing with here. So I'm just going to call out all the signs as they stick out to me just in case they mean something to you. But this is Sagittarius energy of being walled off and defensive. This is also an energy of healing though. That's the wounded warrior, and he's built this wall around himself because he's been hurt. The wall is there as like a defense against getting hurt. Doesn't want to be hurt again. So this is indicating that you have been hurt by what's happened and your defenses are up right now. It can also represent a wall being in the way, as in some obstacle being in the way. I do see this energy of someone who is going to find a way to overcome the obstacles. I see this energy here with the Chariot of using the will to overcome the obstacles and move forward successfully. So it could mean either of those, or it could actually mean both at the same time. You could have the will to overcome this wall that's in the way, and at the same time you could also have been hurt and are now like somewhat defensive here. So tell me about this Nine of Wands for Scorpio, please. Jeez. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. This is a change in the luck and fortune here. This is a turn of events. This is also feeling a lot like a cycle that repeats. Like this doesn't feel like the first time this has happened for you. Probably not the first time they've done something that they shouldn't have done. Yeah, the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. I got two cards that are about a cycle right back to back here. It's like this happens, it causes an end, and then somehow we get back together and start over, and then it repeats itself, and we just keep going through the loop. And there's that Four of Swords again, which was your very first card. Libra energy of like taking a pause and trying to calm your mind down so you can figure out what to do moving forward. I don't know if I said it, but both of these cards represent the four fixed signs: Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio. When I clarify this Nine of Wands, I get the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Five of Swords. Page of Swords, again, we've already seen that. It's either communication, and it could be that there's a wall in the way of communication. It could be trying to figure out how to get past the wall, trying to figure out what to do. Notice he's looking to the past, and when I have it laying on the table, the thing he's looking at are all these options and choices and the clouded vision, the clouded judgment, the confusion that's going on. He's looking to the past, and all the way over that direction is the Chariot. Like, how do we overcome this? How do we get past it all? And then there's in between it all this confusion, all this obscure vision, all this like, I don't want to pick the wrong thing and make a mistake, but there's a lot of emotions involved here. There's history involved here. Now we're advancing energy again. That happened over here when I was clarifying your Six of Cups, and the first clarifier is the Seven of Cups. It's happening again, going from the Page of Swords to the Knight of Swords. This is someone who's trying to figure something out. In other words, they're doing some thinking about something. This is the next step up. The Knight is an action taker. This is going from thinking about it to doing it. This is the fastest moving Knight in the deck. This is very fast forward movement, like rushing forward and making some rapid, decisive action on something. This is typically not the person who thinks about shit first, though. This is the person who just rushes in and does it. They don't think about it first. They don't think about it while they're doing it. It's just very abrupt, spontaneous energy. They take the action and they're out, and then they think about it afterwards, once it's too late to do anything about it. Sometimes this gets referred to as the narcissist card. It's running towards this stability, or their decisive action that they didn't think about has somehow affected the stability. I think that's what it is, because the confusion is tied to that, and it's also tied to death here on the other side. This feels like your person. It's like, this is almost like you have now somehow uncovered information about what they did. That Knight of Swords is kind of similar to the Fool in the sense that neither one of them think about shit first. They just do it. Next I have the Eight of Cups. This is Pisces energy of detachment. This is emotional detachment. This is physical detachment, like physically walking away. The person in the card is walking away from 8 full cups of love because they believe there's something better out there for them. So sometimes this will represent your person like walking away to see if the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. If this is representing your energy, this is representing you trying to emotionally detach from this and walk away, because you're realizing now that 8 cups is the absolute most this person can give you. They're not capable of giving you 9 cups or 10 cups. They're not capable of meeting your emotional needs. 8 is the best they can give you. And this card is about recognizing that I deserve more than that, and making the very difficult decision to walk away from what I have to go down a brand new path in search of my own happiness and my own emotional fulfillment. It's about walking away from 8 cups to go find your 9th and 10th cups, because you know they're not going to come from this person, so you're going to have to go somewhere else to get those. That's tied directly to this King of Wands and the Lovers in reverse. So this is feeling a lot like your person went to go see what the wand is pointing at, see if the grass is greener on the other side, and now they've got some other person involved here. They've birthed something new here and probably weren't talking about that. Tied directly to that is this final clarifier, the Five of Swords. Again, fives are conflict. This is a very big fight. This is bitter words like weapons, tongues like swords to cut each other. This is betrayal. This is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event. This can be a person who has this winning at all cost mentality. In other words, like, I'm going to get what I want, and if you get hurt in the process, well, tough shit for you. That's your problem, because I'm doing what I want to do. And it's sitting directly next to the birth of something new. And beside that is nothing. It's a gap. Not really digging this for you, Scorpio. Let's scoot this over and get some more room here. Take a look at your person's energy, because here at the end of April 2023, their energy in this connection with you is the Ace of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Star. The Ace of Wands, we've already covered this when I talked to you about the King of Wands. This is the phallic symbol of the tarot deck. Now, aces are opportunities, they're new beginnings, so this is a new beginning in passion and desire, passion and new beginning. It's also the male phallus, using it to be intimate, sexual energy, sex, starting some new beginning in terms of that. Tell me about this Eight of Wands. Why is this here for Scorpio's person at the end of April 2023? Bottom of the deck, Ten of Wands. Seen this repeatedly. Sagittarius energy of a heavy burden being carried here. It's a 10. It's supposed to be where I lay the burden down and move forward without it. High Priestess is under that. This is she who knows. She represents the unconscious mind, the intuition, those gut feelings that you have, those intuitive hits that you have, where you realize something is off here and I don't know exactly what it is. I can't put my finger on it. I don't have any facts to support it, but this is just like your intuition is screaming at you and telling you something's off. Like, she sits in front of the veil of consciousness, so she has access to all the information. Like, she knows everything. She sees everything. She doesn't always tell us everything, though, which is where the intuition comes in. Like, sometimes it's, you don't need to know until it's time for you to know, at which point she clues you in through intuition, through gut feelings, through like when you're with somebody and now like you don't have to have actual facts. You can just tell when somebody's acting different than they normally are. That's what this is. Five of Pentacles again. Way too many fives here. Abandonment, being cast aside, being left out in the cold. This is a breakup card. When I clarify this Ace of Wands, I get the Page of Pentacles, King of Swords, Two of Swords. Page of Pentacles, news, messages, and communications about some physical opportunity presenting itself. Like an opportunity that's not like an idea or a concept. It's a physical, you can touch it kind of a thing. If we're talking about the wand and sexual energy, well, a physical opportunity to engage with the wand and the sexual energy here. King of Swords. This is Aquarius or Gemini energy. This is a decision maker. And we've got the overall energy of a decision needing to be made and it's not being made. Very next clarifier is also that same Two of Swords, Libra energy of a decision needing to be made but not being made. This is the decision maker here. So this wasn't your decision to do this. It wasn't your decision to mess everything up. It was theirs. And they have a decision to make here about putting in the work on this. And I think that's what you want to happen for the most part. I have seen some conflict about that, so maybe there's a piece of you that doesn't want it. But I feel like if you had the big red magic easy button and you could just push it and make it any way you wanted it to, we'd find a way to work this out. Find a way to hold on to them. But this doesn't feel like your decision. It feels like theirs. And they're being very emotionally distant, emotionally cold, like emotionally detached. This is someone who decides based on logic and reason alone. What are the truth and the facts of the matter? What can I see right in front of me? What do I know to be true already? And they're going to throw their emotions out the window. They're not going to consult their emotions when they make decisions here. This is someone who makes the most logical, most rational decision that's the most fair for them. Supposed to be that's most fair for everyone, but it doesn't always work out that way. Especially when right across the aisle from that is what gets labeled a lot of times as the narcissist energy here, of someone who just makes decisions and they do shit without thinking about it. It's like no forethought whatsoever that destabilizes everything. Two of Swords. They have the power to make the decision. They're just not doing it for some reason. Central to their energy is the Six of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. Usually a balance. It's usually like generosity and reciprocity and equal give and take. Like you scratch my back and I scratch your back. You take care of me, I take care of you. We're in a balanced thing here where I'm putting in the same amount I'm getting out. It's not unbalanced in that regard. When that's what it means. The other meaning to this card can represent the merchant, meaning your person giving to two in the physical sense. Tell me about the Six of Pentacles, please. Why is that here? Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. I keep seeing this card, and every time there is some describing to it, either of a cycle repeating and starting again, or at that one time it was telling me that the thing that changed it was advancing in some love offer somewhere else. Now it's being tied directly to this idea of someone giving to two and changing everything. Seven of Pentacles is under that, which is, we already saw that here. 3 cards down in the overall energy right before a betrayal happens. This is some period of time where either they're pausing to reflect on this connection with you and trying to decide, do I want to continue putting in the work on this and putting in the time, effort, and energy on this? Is this ever going to get me what I want? Or should I cut my losses and move on? Now this can also represent a period of time. Like you can see he's planted some seeds here and this is growing. When a farmer plants the seeds, it's not like they can come back out to the field tomorrow and harvest everything and get paid for it. It requires time for something to fully grow and fully develop and ripen so that they can harvest it. So this can indicate that there's this giving to two in this period of time. It can be divine timing, a period of time that has gone by waiting for something to fully develop here. Ten of Cups, it could be waiting on to see, is this ever going to turn into what I want or not? This is most people's goal in terms of love and relationships. It's that happy fairy tale love connection we all want, that happy fairy tale ending. It's two people that are fully happy and content in and of themselves coming together and being fully in love with each other. Teamwork and collaboration. And this is Pisces energy. This is Capricorn energy. Working together as equals to build the Ten of Pentacles that we all want. Six of Cups. There's a history of that between the two of you here. This is really looking like, now, this person did stupid stuff they shouldn't have done. They had a decision that they could have just made the correct decision, and they chose not to decide. And now that looks like an energy of like, yes, I was giving to two, but now I'm trying to balance that out. I've been thinking about us a lot. I've been thinking about the past and the history between us a lot. And when we were working together as equals to build this. And there is a period of time going on where they're pausing to reflect on all of that stuff and trying to decide, can this be turned around? Can we fix this? Can we balance this back out? When I clarify that Six of Pentacles, I get the Five of Cups. So again with the fives, the Six of Wands, and the Hierophant. Five of Pentacles is Scorpio energy. So I've got the 5, the 6, and the 7. All the minor arcana Scorpio cards. I've got the Death card, which is the major arcana Scorpio card. So I've literally got, and I've got the King of Cups. So I've got literally all the Scorpio cards out here. I've even seen that Knight of Cups, which sometimes gets labeled a Scorpio card. A lot of Scorpio energy out here. This is sadness and remorse about the past. Again, it's a 5. It's a conflict. It's a change. This is about being focused on the 3 cups that have been spilled and all the love and emotions that have been spilled, all that time, effort, and energy and effort that's been spilled and wasted. At its core, this card is about what a person focuses on, literally dictates to them what emotions they experience. You can see there are 2 upright cups in the background. That's the 2 of Cups. That's a love connection between 2 people. It just doesn't have the focus right now. The focus is on the past, definitely. And when you focus on the past, a person feels what they felt in the past. When someone focuses on what they've lost, they feel the loss. When they focus on something that's missing in their life, they feel the gap in their life. So this represents sadness and remorse about something they did in the past. And it also indicates that there is still a connection between the 2 of you there. And I think your person is probably having regrets and feeling guilty for what they did. Also probably feeling guilty for getting recognized for what they did. This 6 of Wands is Leo energy of recognition. This is either them being recognized for something or them coming to some sort of a recognition themselves as they go through this period of time where they're thinking about everything that's happened and what they've lost here, recognizing something that allows forward movement. It's moving away from that King of Swords energy, being really cold and calculated. Next I have the Hierophant. This is the Taurus Major Arcana card. This is a card of commitment. This is about being in a committed connection, a committed relationship, and taking that to the next level. This is like engagement, weddings, like being in a committed relationship. I've got another card out here that would indicate something like that. I've even seen the 10 of Pentacles a couple of times here and alluded to it a couple of times based on other Pentacle cards that we've had. This is looking like I did this dumb stuff, shouldn't have done it, and now I'm thinking that maybe I want to balance this out, and I'm feeling guilty and regretful about what I did, and now I'm recognizing something about myself or about this connection where I want to move forward with it into a commitment. I just don't think the actual decision to do that has been made yet. The person at the minimum has the willingness to put the work in on this with you. At the minimum, they don't want to let go of you. They don't want to lose you. I see that again right here under the decision that hasn't been made. I see again this whole idea of taking time to think about this and contemplate it all. And underlying all of that is that betrayal that took place. Final card for them. I think they have fear and worry and anxiety about this too. Probably more than one thing. Probably they don't want to lose you, and they're afraid that they have lost you, and they don't want to face the situation they've created. Possibly fear and worry and anxiety that I'll do something foolish again too. The Star is their final card. This is Aquarius's Major Arcana card. This is a card of healing, and it's a card of hope. Sometimes it's a card of wish fulfillment. Sometimes in a love reading, this can indicate that they believe you're the one for them. This is also card 17 of the Major Arcana. Card 16, the one right before this, is the Tower that we've seen a couple of times. So you don't make it to the Star energy without going through a tower first. Something in your life that's important to you collapses, and now everything's different than it was the day before that. When that happens, whether that's a relationship coming apart, or a belief system that a person has shatters, now they don't know what to believe. When that happens, it's really difficult to see the way moving forward from there. And the Star represents that guiding light from the universe that lights the way for a person, that lights the path for them so they can see their way moving forward. This is where hope comes from. It's where healing comes from. So this is indicating to me that your person at least has the hope that we can work on this, has the hope that if we do work on this, we can heal it, because they don't want to lose you, and they're afraid of that though. Tell me about the Star. Why is that here for Scorpio's person, please? Bottom of the deck, High Priestess. Again, she who knows. This is the intuition. This is the gut feelings. This is the divine guidance. This is the divine feminine of the tarot deck. She is the source of all the emotions, all the water in the entire tarot deck. You can see how her gown is blue and it flows off of her leg, off the side of the picture on the card. That's turning into a waterfall on the way down. We've seen the Empress here, first card that has water in it. There's a stream behind her, and all of the water flows behind the Empress, but it originates from her. So this is talking about how deep the connection is between the two of you. This, for them, it's deeper than just something physical. It's deeper than just something emotional. This is like, I've got the Star, like divine energy, divine energy, divine energy here. So like this is a powerful connection for them. But there is some sort of a burden tied to this here. I strongly feel like your person is worried and fearful that they might do something stupid again. Usually if I would get that feeling from somebody, I would see the devil out here, and I don't have the devil. Like that would be something that's in control of me, and I'm not in control of it. But also that's usually a person who is oblivious to that, and like they would be in denial about it, and they don't realize that about themselves. There's definitely some sort of a burden here related to moving forward in a love offer, advancing the love offer, advancing a connection. Ten of Pentacles. Why would there be a burden about moving forward, about combining lives together? The Tower, the collapse of that. It's possible that this person has gone through repeated cycles of collapsing this with you, and they're burdened by that. and they're guided to you, but still like maybe can't contain themselves. It's possible too that they've been in connections before where I was living together and or married to someone and it all collapsed. Led to abandonment. Like could be someone that has abandonment issues. And it's so weird because sometimes when a person gets hurt, they end up becoming the person that hurt them, you know, like I'm committed to you and I'm with you and then you abandon me, and now I'm so afraid of abandonment and the pain that's tied to that for them that they will abandon you so that they don't have to experience you abandoning them. It could be something like that here. Something deep is going on with them. I know that much. You just have to take that part however it resonates for you. When I clarify the star, I get 5 clarifiers here again. I got the 8 of Pentacles, Judgment, the Moon, 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords. 8 of Pentacles is the shared energy for both of you. Virgo energy of putting in the work, time, effort, energy on something to get what they want, or being willing to do that, has its back turned to this sadness and remorse. It's like you guys had a plan you were working on and then they did what they did. And now they're hoping that the work can be put in on it and that they don't lose you here. But at the same time, they have fear and worry and anxiety tied to that, probably because of judgment. They're wanting to work on the judgment. This is a final verdict in judgment being passed. This is a final decision being made. And in a love reading, it's a decision about the connection. It's a decision to call it dead and over with. I see death out here in the first column of cards for you. This can also be an energy of reconciliation, as in, let's make the decision to either call it dead and over with, or let's make the decision to resurrect it and bring it back from the dead, and bring it back to life and transform it in a way that it's never going to be this way again. They're this logical, emotionally detached type of an energy here, and then they recognize something that allows forward movement, and it's moving toward judgment and working and healing. The Moon is the next card. This is Pisces energy, again, of fear, worry, and anxiety, usually based on uncertainty. Like when the moon's out, it's dark outside. It's hard to see the path in front of you. It's easy to go, hey, am I on the correct path? Is this the path I'm even supposed to be on? Did I make a wrong turn somewhere? Am I going the right way? And that in and of itself can make a person anxious and nervous. But it's sitting directly next to the Hierophant. Fear, worry, anxiety, uncertainty tied to commitment in marriage, hence a decision that needs made and isn't being made. Now another meaning to the Moon is it can represent something being hidden in the dark or some secret being kept, which is tied to judgment. So it's possible that A, they have some worries and anxiety about commitment, and B, that they have fears and worries and anxiety tied to, is your decision to end this final, or can we bring it back? And I'm not sure. It could also be that there was a decision to end it because in a commitment with you, I had some secrets I was keeping. Either way, the next card is the 6 of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. We've seen the 5 of Swords out here. We've also seen the 6 and the 7 of Swords out here. That's all 3 of the minor arcana Aquarius cards. I've got the King of Swords out here, which would also probably be an Aquarius card. And I've got the Star, which is the card I'm clarifying now, the Aquarius Major Arcana. So that dynamic has happened with Scorpio and Aquarius out here. The 6 of Swords is the card that comes directly after the 5 of Swords. So this is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event, a betrayal of some kind. This is about moving away from that painful thing, leaving it in the past where it belongs, moving away from pain and forward towards something that they want. There's an implied choice when a person does this, though. Like the painful thing has already happened. They can't change that at this point. When you're moving forward into the future, The real choice is, as I move into my future, do I carry the burden of that pain with me and let it continue to weigh me down? Or do I leave the burden behind and carry forward the lesson into the future with me so I don't ever make that same mistake again? And then we've got the Seven of Swords last. So again, I've got escalating energy from 6 to 7. This is lying, cheating, deception, sneaking around behind your back, trying to get away with something that they shouldn't try to get away with. I have the strong feeling this isn't the first time they've done something like this. If it is the first time they've done something like this to you, it's not their first time doing it. Now, another meaning to the card, besides the sneaky, deceptive, cheating type energy, is it can be an energy of someone who doesn't want to be hurt. He's stealing the 5 swords, which, like I said, is that painful thing. He's stealing the swords because he doesn't want the swords used against him. He doesn't want that pain. He doesn't want to be hurt by the swords, so he steals them. Another meaning to this is leaving something behind, because he can only carry 5 of the 7 swords and he has to leave the other 2 behind. So I've got 2 energies in a row that can indicate leaving something behind and moving away from it. But I can't shake the feeling that there's like too much fear and worry and anxiety tied to that kind of a thing. There's fear and worry and anxiety tied to, like, are you leaving me behind and moving forward without me? There's worry and anxiety and uncertainty tied to, hey, this bad stuff that happened, can we leave that behind us and move forward together and not bring that shit with us? But then there's still also fear, worry, and anxiety tied to, like, foolish behavior and risk-taking behavior and sneaky, deceptive kind of behavior. I get the strong impression that your person doesn't trust themselves. Now, if you still have questions about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Scorpio love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.